What up, Benjies? Welcome to the BingeWorthy podcast, part of the Geekish Network. I'm your boy, Johnny Randolph, or you can just call me Randy. And I've got three fly like an ego co-hosts with me today. And my first co-host, she is an actress, she's a writer, she's a director, just for an abbreviated name, I just call her superstar. So say what's up to the people, Miss Courtney Scott, right?
Hi.
And my next co-host, he is a serial entrepreneur. He's a game designer. He's part owner of the Geekish Network. Say what's up to the people, Chart.
What it do? You weren't ready for that, were you? You were not ready for that.
I'm ready for it all the time, though. I
bring shock and awe whenever I step in the scene.
All right. And we got to give a shout out to our missing co-host in this absence, So Centel. What's up, bro? We miss you out there. Good luck on you and all your endeavors, and we'll see you back here next week. So how y'all doing today, man? Y'all, I ain't talked to y'all in a while. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Pretty
How are
good,
you
pretty
doing?
good.
Ready
Good,
for
good.
tonight's fight?
Absolutely. So the premise of our show is that every week we will binge watch an entire series, and then we come right here to the Geekish Network to talk about that, the BingeWorthy podcast. Now, at the beginning of the show, we will rate that series based on our unique binge-worthy scale, and then we engage in a scintillating, profound, life-changing conversation about that said series. And then at the end, we're going to re-rate it. And maybe, just maybe a little bit, our co-host may influence us to change our rating. They can influence us to change it for the better or for the worse. It's happened. And tonight we are reviewing DOTA season 2. And the premise of DOTA, it is set in a fantasy world of magic and mysticism. The story follows Davion, the dragon hunter who hunts dragons and slays them to make the world a safer place. Now, speaking of our binge-worthy scale, it is as followed. At number 5 is a full binge out. That means this property is outstanding, top of the line. It is something that you definitely do not want to miss. At a number 4 is a full meal. A full meal is not quite a full binge out, but it is definitely worth your time to invest in watching this series. At a number 3 is a mini meal. Now, a mini meal isn't bad. It's just not really good. It is sort of, you know, Courtney always describes it as some TV dinner, some bland TV dinner. At a number 2
And
is
Randy says it doesn't have the Lowry seasoning.
I wasn't gonna say it, but since you threw it in there, yeah, without
I
all the
did.
Lowry.
You gotta throw it in there. You gotta throw it in there. I look forward to that.
Okay. At a number 2 is a snack, and a snack is one of them things that you watch it, but just because it ain't shit else on, right? The NFL's over with, the NBA's over with. It's nothing new on Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu. It's just boring ass baseball and whatever it is that you're watching. That's just a snack at number 2. And number 1 is a cringe worthy, and that just means this is some old bullshit. As I always like to say, Chuck, why the hell did you recommend we watch this?
You hear that, Chuck?
You looking around for Chuck?
Yeah, I'm looking around for Chuck. I'm Charles.
So, speaking of Chuck,
words with Chuck.
let's kick this thing off, bro. How are you gonna rate DOTA season 2?
You asking me? Oh wow,
Yeah.
I was not ready for that. I'm gonna give it a full meal.
Okay.
I don't give it quite a binge out. I want to give it a binge out, but in comparison to season 1, which I think was a binge out, I think this is probably a full meal for me, and it has a lot to do with the story. I wanted something different. I thought I was gonna get something different, and I got this, and I will talk about it deeper.
Okay. All right. So you are giving it a full meal. All right.
Obviously, that is not well received because I'm looking at
Courtney. So I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna jump in here real quick. So, all right. This show, it's like, to me, it's like, for this season at least, it's a political show, right? We got kings and queens, we've got battles for supremacy and control, but at its core, at least how I interpret it, and I talked about it a little bit at Crosstalk, it's just some petty ass gods fucking with humanity, right? Because we got the guys out there, they just, they want to rule. Terrorblade wants to rule the world. Salamander, she wants people to worship her. The Evoker is mad that, he lost his daughter. So it's kind of like the gods being petty. And if you ever watched our initial review of Cobra Kai, you would know that I am all about the petty. I just love that shit in ounces and pounds. I love the petty. So this was really fun for me. It was a lot of action in it. It has some really interesting characters. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a full binge out.
Okay.
Full binge out for me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, Miss Courtney Scott Wright, how are you going to rate DOTA season 2?
I gotta be honest, I don't know. I feel like I need a talk to because y'all saw some shit I didn't see. For me, I'm in between a mini meal and a snack. And that mini meal is just because of season 1. I thought this was literally like I went to like hometown buffet and got a little bit of everything with no flavor. So I'm like, there were too many new characters. It convoluted the story. I didn't get enough Davion. He was literally running around just kind of being a side story in a side piece in everybody's story. We lost Caden. We got Caden and Davion, and they had this whole big to do when he got back to like the Slayers lair or grouping. Then there was a big war there, reminiscent of like The Witcher season 2, but yet what the hell? You know what I mean? And then we got Marana's story where her story, she's the only one who had a clear arc. She's the only one that continued her journey from season 1 to season 2 and throughout, like legitimately the only one. Davion, don't even get me started on Fimrin. I don't know what was going on in her life. Like what? I need help because I need you to convince me and tell me what it is that y'all saw, because we got the dragon who is the poet. And I got to say, of the new characters, she was my favorite. Emphasis on was. And then we got the little random like fire starter who just, I don't even know what like she had an agenda, but I don't know why. And she's like somebody's sister. She's the random ice sister of the dragon friend. Where'd she go? Why she just, what? I'm confused. Okay.
So which one you gonna give it? Which one you giving? Right. Which one you giving?
I don't know. I need to talk back because I need one.
We need one. Then we'll talk after. Then you can change it if you want to. But we need one right now.
I'm gonna give it. I guess a mini meal. Just because I feel heartbroken giving it a snack. I just was so damn lost. I was like, what is going on? It did not, as Centel says, pass the phone test because I was already lost and confused. So then I just got on my phone and then I was completely lost and confused. And I was like, why do I care? And then the evoker or whatever his name is, I don't even think that's his name. I don't know what his name is. I forgot. He's stupid. Like, he just got on my daggone nerves. And don't Salamene? What? Why didn't she just die? Like, okay, let's just get to it.
All right, so we got a full range here
because I loved DOTA season 1. I just want that to be clear.
All right, we got a full meal, we got a full binge out, and we got a snack. So that gives a score of 12 with 3 of us.
No, I said a mini meal.
A mini meal.
Okay.
Mini meal. That's what I mean. Full meal, full binge out, and a mini meal. Yeah, that's And so that brings us right.
What does Centel give it?
He didn't give his score. He didn't give his score.
He didn't give his score.
Okay.
So
he didn't give it to me. He didn't give it to you all.
Yeah, he didn't give it to me. So yeah. So we're right at a full meal right now. So right at a full meal. All right. So a few of the main characters and actors, Yuri Lowenthal, that's Davion. Yeah. Laura Pulver, that's Princess Marana. Tony Todd is Cyrac. Troy Baker. Is the Invoker. Freya Tingley is Frimrin. Carly Walgreen is Luna. Alex Reagan is Salamina. I always have
Salamine.
Yeah.
Salamine. Yeah.
Okay. And Anson Mount
is supposed to be
Kane.
Mene, which I'm still confused as to what is the difference between Salamine and Mene.
They're different gods.
I thought they were just like the same god. Like
that's the same. Like no, they ain't. Like Mene is like Sailor Moon is, Princess Serena is the queen of the moon, and then Rini is her little daughter. That's what that is. Mene
Oh,
is like some
Mm,
little like second tier.
okay. So, all right. So
That's what I got.
let's talk
Correct
about
me,
some of the
audience. Correct
surrounding
me.
things. Yeah, correct it. So, voice acting, Courtney. Voice acting, it's important to any anime projects. We've
Mhm.
seen good voice acting make a project, and we've seen it really fuck it up altogether, right?
Mhm.
So, for this one, I mean, you're an actress. How did you feel the voice acting was for Dota season 2?
I thought the voice acting was stellar. I thought that the actors did a wonderful job with the story that they were given. I just thought the story was like spaghetti theory and it was just all over the place. But I thought the voices were every bit as exceptional as they were in season 1. And I also felt that the new people, the new actors that we got, like they didn't disappoint, you know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thought
All
they
right,
really played their characters, you know. And can I say one more thing?
sure.
I think that for me, a lot of series have been going the way of stunt casting with actors that are well known visually from being live action in certain shows and what have you. And
Mhm.
so they've been casting a lot of these, you know, a lot of animated properties with well-known actors. And for me, it kind sometimes it takes me out. I just want to be a part of this story and just sell the story because a lot of times the celebrity actors don't necessarily fit the role. They just are celebrities and there's a voice that it should be familiar, but I shouldn't be listening for, oh, that's Aquafina. I don't care that it's Aquafina. So I really love the fact that these are or actors that are known within the voiceover community, but are actually just they just lose themselves in the role.
And a person can be a good actor or actress, but not a good voice actor or animator. So we've seen that
True.
happen too. We've seen talented actors not really do well in the world of voice acting. Chuck, how'd you feel
True.
about the acting?
I thought the acting was well done. They had Troy Baker, he's the invoker, and he
Mhm.
is a
He's
great
well
voice
known.
actor.
Yeah.
And
Really good.
so and I think they focused on that. Dota, no, they probably leaned in with the Valve and said, "Hey, y'all have voice actors you all like to work with?" And they probably got these voice actors probably from the world of the game for some of the trailers they probably done before, and they probably brought them in. I thought they characterized the characters well. Like I didn't think about anybody being a celebrity, and I agree with Courtney that when you hear a celebrity actor, you hear their voice, it never fits the character they're on.
Never.
It
It
never
never
fits the
does.
character on. It's very seldom where you have somebody like a
Except
Robin
Mark
Williams
Hamill.
that can do it.
Somebody
Yeah,
like Mark Hamill
Mark Hamill. Yeah,
loses himself. He is different in every
hmm
single role.
Well, I
yes,
don't know. For
yes.
Skeletor, I thought he was the Joker.
He did kind
I
of sound like the
thought he
Joker.
played the same Joker role in
I can
Skeletor.
hear where you're going with that. I can hear that.
I was a
I
little
can
disappointed
understand
in
that.
He-Man. But what I thought
I
did
don't think that
really
was his
well in it,
fault though. I
yeah.
think it was just He-Man, but that's another
What it
story.
where they had a lot of big names though that I thought just killed it was Invincible. They had all those great
Yes,
big name
yes.
actors like was it Sandra? What's her name?
Oh, Sandra
Sandro.
Oh.
Sandra
Yep.
Oh, like
Sandra Oh,
yeah.
They
that's
did
right.
have,
And the
yeah,
and
they had what's his name? He's good in
his name
everything. He's
Hewitt.
fluffed
Harshaw.
out, but
Yeah,
that
like yeah. I mean, they had some big names,
Yes.
but they were killing it in
Yes.
that.
You're right, but these are actors that literally invested themselves
Right,
in the character
right.
and the story as opposed and I'm not saying people don't invest themselves. I don't want that that's not what I'm trying to convey, but I do think a lot of times there is like just reading, kind of like what Randy was talking about. There's a difference between someone who is just reading lines on a page and, you know, what's his name? Lakeith Stanfield in
Lakeith
Yasuke.
Stanfield.
We've been harping on Lakeith ever
But
since Yasuka. Let Lakeith out of let Lakeith out of this. We
out of
punished him
voiceover
enough.
jail? No.
All right.
Yeah.
So Chuck, my man, was it Mir
Mhm.
Studios? It's the studio that produced this show, and it's a South
Oh
Korean
yeah.
animation studio, and it's responsible for some bangers like The Legend of
Yes.
Korra, The Witcher, Nightmare and the Wolf, the Mortal Kombat Legend, Scorpio's Revenge. So we agreed when we saw season 1, we were impressed with the art house style and the animation style. What were your thoughts for season 2? Was it equally as good, better, worse? How did you feel
I
about it?
actually think it was better. I think they incorporated they went hard 3D engine, and the art style still remained the same. The animation was really solid. They're known to do great work. Like Studio Mirror,
Mhm.
they cut their teeth with the Boondocks and
Yeah, the
Black
Boondocks.
Dynamite,
Yeah.
and they did that amazing fight scene, which was homage to Naruto for the fight scene where the brothers fought the old people, and that was a straight rip from the Naruto scene, and they pulled it off better than Naruto. So Studio Mirror,
I do. Go ahead.
I think I put them on par, if not above, some of the Japanese houses that do anime,
Mm.
because they're not, since they're Korean, they're not restricted to the rules that anime has set forth. But they do follow a lot of anime rules and production pipeline, creative production, because they do shortcut things and they just put so much flavor behind it. But then they'll come with a full frame animation series that American animation loves doing, similar to a Disney or a or Illumination, they would do for their cartoons and whatnot. So they do come through all the time, or what a Titmouse would do they when they do their high end cartoons. So I applaud them. I applaud them all the way around. They worked on Voltron. They worked on Lego Elves. They worked on Young Justice, Kibo.
Very,
They
very
cut their
Voltron.
teeth hard.
Like,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah, I totally agree. I thought the animation was absolutely incredible,
Hmm.
especially when you got to the character of, was it Lena? Because there were so many L's. I know Luna is
On this
the
one.
captain of the guard,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then Lena, I think, was the fire starter. And her scenes I thought were
Hmm.
beautiful, as well as all of the dragon stuff.
Yes. Yes.
All of the dragon stuff. And when, spoiler alert, I'm moving ahead. When Marana has her big reveal, I thought that animation was just incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was just
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful. Look, like
Yeah.
the palettes, the way they mixed them all together, like the dark contrast with the lighting,
Yes.
going into those
yeah.
different worlds. Like when Davion was in that world with Cyrac and he was talking to Cyrac, I thought that was dope. And when all the dragons were talking, I was like, oh, this is
Yes.
That was
Yes.
interesting when all the because I still don't understand what happened to the first core five, because then we got old dude who
Mhm.
was the like ambassador or like the hand of the king. I don't really know what his
Yes.
role was, but he was a dragon as well, revealed later on.
Hmm.
Similar to the lady dragon that, the who became human, who
Yeah,
could
and
shift into being human.
right. And we'll
But
Yes.
talk about that.
no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. I thought that transition, like those two characters, I thought, going back to the animation, I thought that was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it
So
was
it
some
was
good stuff. Yeah.
I thought the latter half of the episode, the latter half of the season was a lot stronger than the middle.
Okay. All right. So, what did you guys think about the fighting? Because I thought it was a lot of action, especially for something that was only 8 episodes, 22 minutes. How did you guys feel about the fight scenes that we had in the series? Good, bad,
I
and
I
I mean, go ahead, Chuck.
I enjoyed the fight scenes. I thought they were well choreographed. Did I need all the fight scenes? Probably not. I think I could have done more story. I thought I would never ever say that.
that
Uh,
surprises me. I've never heard you say that because usually you're like, I don't need to see nobody talking, just fighting and killing people.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm invested in this story. I
Okay.
do look at it as a political story of a bunch of different forces fighting each other, trying to. If you're familiar with Dota, there's a bunch of different types of beings in this arena, and they all are allowed to fight each other. And so knowing that they have these archetypes there, I just want to get a feel for everybody's character from how it translates from the game over into this world.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's very Game of Thrones. Like going, like kind of
yes,
piggybacking off what Chuck is
yes,
talking about. It's very Game of Thrones. You have the
Absolutely.
elves who are trying to get their land, their homeland back. You have the human kings and queens who are trying to sustain their power and privilege. And then you have like the gods, which Randy is talking about. You have like the dragon gods, and then you have Salamene. So it's like it really is, politically speaking, Game of Thrones. It's just I agree with Chuck. Like I could have sacrificed some of those battles that came out of left field for more story.
I am so shocked. Both of you are like, less action.
I know. I
Thought I
never
would
say
never
that.
hear
I
that on
love seeing
BingeWorthy
people fight.
podcast. Right. I'm so
But you
shocked.
know what's
Like
really
think of
interesting.
Castlevania. Castlevania has all the
Mhm.
action and the story perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
Like that.
I did enjoy the action scenes. I mean, I thought they were gorgeous and pretty, and I understood why they were there. But it's hard in this world, right? Because if you look at Dota, the video game, there's over 120 characters, like 123 characters you could play
Mm,
as in the game, and they're all different ethnic groups and races. So when they translate that into a TV show, they're choosing
right.
and picking at the moment, and they're going to constantly grow this cast out because they want to represent all the most popular players, all the most popular characters, then they want to represent everybody else to show this world is huge, right?
Well,
We
speaking
haven't
of
even
Game
got
of
to
Thrones,
dwarves.
they
We
did
haven't
the
even got
same
to
thing,
dwarves.
right? Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, though, they do the same thing. Like we got a
Hmm.
bunch of characters from them books, and they kind of scale it down some of the fit. But so maybe
Yeah, but they spread those out over 8 seasons. We got like 5 like 6 or 7 new characters in season 2 alone. Like,
maybe we could have benefited from maybe making it a little longer, or maybe a episode or two, maybe flushing it out to 10 episodes as opposed to 8. Would that have allowed us
Yeah.
to enhance the story a little bit more?
uh, I
I did.
don't necessarily know. They could have saved the they could have saved something because something had to be sacrificed in favor of what for me, like, okay, Marana was taken. She was taken, and we had to follow her. Actually, no, she was taken later. It started off with Davion being taken. That's how season 2 ended, or season 1 ended. Davion was taken, and I thought that Marana was gonna like find her way, like try to find Davion, or like they were gonna end up meeting up earlier than they did, and then we got Marana's whole journey. I think they could have saved that Marana journey and just focus on Davion, the other Dragon Slayers, Fimrin, because we didn't get any closure from our key characters that we were introduced to in season 1. You know what I'm
Well, that
saying?
was one of
Like,
the things that I kind of enjoyed. Like we didn't get a lot
Yeah.
of closure. We
Yeah, I
kept
didn't
like
mind
this
that.
story is
Yeah.
ongoing.
Yeah.
There's
I,
there's lots of plots still out there. So to me, it's like I don't know. I kind of like that.
they
Like
did
I
a
don't.
very anime thing where they don't close stories. Japanese anime necessarily doesn't have to close a story. They'll introduce a character and let that character string out and disappear, or they'll focus on that character and forget about the characters that we loved from another season.
well, okay, when I say close out, I mean
Mhm.
continue. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily mean wrap them up perfectly, like in a bow. I mean, I thought that we were, I guess, and again, admittedly, Mirana's story was incredibly powerful, and I loved her arc.
Hmm.
I loved her arc.
Hmm.
I just feel like we sacrificed Fimrin. I didn't need Selemene's comeback tour. I didn't need that. I needed to know what Fimrin was supposed to do. And when she left Davion and went on her, like, I don't even know what to call it. Like her vision quest. Like she was trying to figure out where she fit. Not vision quest. I'm not trying to disrespect the Native American community, but I mean, like in terms of like she went on her trek. Trying to figure
Yeah.
either find her people or find her group.
I did. I
Where
did.
do I fit?
I didn't mind that because I understood that she put Davion into her pod, right? And he didn't accept being in her pod. Like she's okay with him being in love with Marana and everybody else, but she wanted him to choose her as one of the people in her pod. He necessarily didn't do that. He was about the mission. He was about getting his dragon outside of him and not letting it consume him. And she's like, I want to be a part of that. I want to help with that. I want to be your girl for that. We're in the same pod, and that means I'm with you this whole entire journey. Like all her fellow elves that she watched get killed, that she actually, because of her actions, they got killed.
And see, that's how I interpret it. She was
Yeah.
broken, and we didn't
Yes.
see that in season 1. And so in season 2, when it picks back up to me, like everything that she was going through, and while I wanted her to be the person that I met in season 1, I was like, she couldn't be that person
Yeah.
because she's literally broken. Her pod and we know they touched on it a little bit in season 1. They were all killed in front of her because of actions that she committed.
Because
So now
she stole the lotuses.
right, and so now
Yes.
she's kind of clinging on to Davion, like, I'm trying to find my way.
Rebuild my pod. Yeah.
You're my pod, and Davion's kind of like, I'm not really your pod, right? I mean, but
Yeah.
I mean, we can be cool, but it's not the same. So, you know,
Yeah.
he's got his own thing. So while I wanted her to be who she was, I just understood that she's broken.
Like
and
she's like,
searching
I understand you love Marana and you can love me too because I love you, and this is how the pod works.
Here's the thing: I didn't get that at all. Like when she came, okay, I think it was in episode 2 when she came through and she broke him out of the jail and she figured out what was actually happening, and she was trying to convince him like, we have to get out of here, and then everything went down over the next like 2 episodes. I didn't really understand why she left. I did not get her leaving because he like didn't choose her per se. I got she needed to leave because of all of the unfinished business that she had as a result of what happened because of her actions. Because when she went back in and that lead warrior was like, yeah, this isn't about you. This is from season 1. This isn't about you. This is bigger than you and what you did. You set something off, but we are fighting this fight because we need to fight it. And I think Themrin felt like she needed to go back and like try and find a way to mediate. Like she was going to leave him. I felt like she needed to go in and make sure he was okay so she could go back and do her mission. That's what I got from that. But then her mission fell apart.
I think that she was wanting to be with him. She took him as the pod and he didn't want that. And she realized that she had nowhere else to go. So it made sense for her to go back to the Invoker. Like, I have nowhere else to go. All the things that I love are dead or rejecting me. And I'm going back to this place where I once belonged. And I can get these questions answered that I need answered.
Okay, but then Terrorblade started like mind attacking her. And like that got a little weird.
Well, I got that he was attacking him because he kind of sensed that it was something in her that the same thing that the Evoker revealed, like the big reveal. He sensed that there was something there, and so he started playing with her mind because the Evoker did use her as a pawn in season 1 to kind of kick off these events.
He did, but that wasn't revealed to her.
No.
Right. You know what I mean?
Like, she didn't realize that she's the only one that could see the temple. Like when she stumbled into it, she was like, where's this place? And he's like, you see this? And she didn't think anything of it. Like, yeah, why wouldn't I be able to see this?
But I don't even understand like why. Like that's still not clear why he thinks she's Mene, like the embodiment of Mene.
Somebody she can see the temple. So we don't. That's what makes that so anime. That's anime.
So is she a demigod? Like I'm confused.
So Mene is almost God. Reincarnation. Mene is the god. So Salamene is the human that upsurfed the god. So Mene was the god.
So Salamene is not a god. She's a human.
She was a human that became a god. She was initially a human that became a god. And so Mene was the original.
When they say that,
they say it in the wiki. They say in the DOTA wiki.
Okay, because I was gonna say because that was not in the series.
Okay,
in the DOTA wiki. Y'all should read the fandom wiki.
No, I got what I got from the TV series. I shouldn't have to do research in order to understand. You should give me what I need.
The reason I do research because I knew this was a game that's been going on for 20 years.
No, I understand.
And it was
I understand. I'm just messing with you.
And I just like
I'm just messing with you. It's the same with anything that comes from some other source material, like Game of Thrones. There's half a Game of Thrones.
So Mene is the god of the moon, and Salamene comes and brings the dark moon. So the elves worship Mene because she's the and Salamene is worshipped by Marana and the other chick, Luna.
So she's like Rita Repulso, and
and nobody knows what happened to Mene. Nobody knows where Mene is. And so Sprimrin may be part of Mene because she just disappeared.
Because she has all these extra abilities that most elves don't have.
The elves don't have.
And they prayed for it, and it's so long and so hard. Maybe it was the reincarnation of it. And I don't think he's completely sure about it, but he's just like, he's smart. So he has high suspicions that she is the reincarnation of that. Maybe not in its full capacity and its strength, but a version of that or somehow. So that's the way that I interpreted the story.
Yeah.
Okay, but so I'm gonna channel Centel real quickly. Like he always loves a villain, but like in this series, we got a bunch of people that were I don't know potentially villains. We had the Invoker, Mene, we had Terrorblade. So who do you guys see as the villain of this season?
I think the villain didn't come in until like episode 6, and that was problematic.
Who are you saying? Terrorblade or the
No, I
one
think
guy?
the like
Yeah,
hand of the
Viceroy.
king,
The Viceroy.
the
Viceroy.
viceroy, because
Viceroy.
like Terrorblade was this like Terrorblade became like tertiary. And that was like because we also had the woman who was on the council who was villainous, but not a villain. You know what I mean? She was more like a yes man. Then we had like Caden was a bit of an anti-hero. We had Slyrack, who was a bit of an anti-hero. We had Terrorblade, who was supposed to be the big bad, but became secondary to the Viceroy. And the Viceroy popped up like episode 5, like turn the corner, like where we're like, wait a minute, you know, were there clues that something was a little off? Sure, but he go full big bad not until like episode 7.
But we knew he was bad.
I can see that now.
Didn't we know he was bad? I did.
I thought he was too.
I was like,
I knew he had secrets.
I didn't expect him to be the full-blown powerful person that he was. But
Yeah.
I expected that he engineered the death of her parents. I expected he did that, and I expected he had machinations going on with everything that was happening. I just didn't expect him to be like as big of a bad.
I speculated that he had machinations against her uncle. I speculated that he, you know, was the reason that she made it out of the castle and that he did it for his own reasons. And I also speculated that he was the one who took the eye. But I didn't necessarily, like you, Randy, I didn't necessarily think he was like a super big bad dragon that was gonna like, you know, suck the earth into. Like, well, that came out of left field. I'm sorry. I needed him to be like a regular human or something.
I thought he was the big bag. I thought he was going to be a big bad the whole entire time too. I was like, oh, that's the villain right there, because the way he doted over her, just the way he called her sunbeam,
yeah,
and he was all about her, and I was like, oh, she's something special. You know, she's more than what
she cared for.
Yeah.
What is she? Can we talk about that? Did you find that in the wiki? Because I don't understand.
Yeah, they're all super beings hiding in people's bodies. So she's special too. Like Cameron could be.
Well, why couldn't she be special and save Marcy?
Because she didn't know. She didn't know she was that special. She thought she was just.
Go ahead.
She just thought she was just another human, and she couldn't save Marcy. It was like that's what made her the catalyst to show her how special she was. She had no idea. So it's like, oh, I didn't know I'm superpower.
Bring it out, like, because he kept talking about the light and the dark, and so what if her like beside her parents, right? Beside her parents, something directly that would spark that darkness to mix with that light, and that's what kind of allowed four powers to blossom. It's unconventional. It's unconventional, but like,
he's trying to provoke her to be the light because he wants to drown the light out. So I killed her parents. Maybe she'll become the light. Oh, she didn't become the light, huh? What would make her become the light? You know, maybe losing the throne and make her become the light. Force her in the marriage, maybe make her become the light. He was trying to get her to become the light so he can drown it.
And we still have the door
open. Did he want to drown it or did he want to secretly keep her? Because he kept saying like, "You're my sunbeam. Like I love you." Like
he wanted to suck her in. He said he's the void, and he says I want to drown. He wanted to take in the light. His power is he's the void.
And he kept saying he was the darkness. Yeah, the void.
And she's the dark. He was the darkness. He wanted to drink. He wanted to suck into the light. So he wanted her to become the light so he can bring her in and basically drown her.
He kind of
he's like a black hole. He's like a living black hole.
He kind of disappeared though. It's like when she became the light, he kind of just like vanished. And
she overpowered him.
Exactly.
She overpowered him.
And we still do have room for Terrorblade because Cyrax says, "All right, let the little mouse is free."
Where'd he go?
I can now go back and fight Terrorblade for
Terrorblade, yeah.
But how? Because his body is done. So he needed a human host. So where'd he go?
No, he didn't need a human host once he gets freed by the light. So it pulls him out.
That's the way I
brings
Who
him
yeah,
out.
freed?
yeah.
She freed him from the light.
She
Yeah.
freed him. hmm
I got
That's
you. She
why.
freed him
That's
from
why
the light.
Davion was like, "Give me the eye. Let the eye work on me, so it can pull him out of me, and he can become his whole full self again."
And once we get all that, because she's the eye after all, she's really the eye. And
She's really
so
the eye.
when she's able to do that, she's able to allow them to separate. So now he can go
Separate.
back
Mhm.
and fight with Terrorblade for like because the war is still raging. The war for this universe, even the
Yeah.
multiverse in this world, it's still raging.
Yeah.
You
It's like a
still
bunch.
got
Of course
all
it
the
is
key.
because they just left it behind.
So Slyrack, like Slyrack is the he's the dragon of fire. That's why he was mad at the Slayer, because she's one of them. And so the fire is sparked by light. And so in order for me to come back my full self, I need to brush the light to make me a light magic to turn me back into my full self. Until then, I gotta live
Why
on
was
this
he
human
the
host.
Slayer? See, I was a little bit irritated at the Slayer because she didn't really have a reason other than she was mad that somebody sent her to boarding school. And where was her sister? Her sister wasn't in boarding school. Why wasn't she in boarding school? Why was she like orphaned by a girl?
That is the backstory in the games.
And so
and why
right, it
things are
allows it
done.
like it doesn't give us everything. And those are
It
things
doesn't,
that
yeah.
I mean, it didn't tie it up, and it's like it still left a lot out there. I enjoyed that.
I didn't need
Me
it
too.
tied up, but like the little girl who just came out of nowhere on a dragon to save Caden and
That
Davion
confused me.
and Femrin, and then she just came out of the blue, took them to her secret dragon library, and then was like, "Yeah, go find my sister, but don't tell her I sent you because like she
Yeah.
doesn't like me." What?
That I
Come
was like, that I
on.
rewound and I was like, did I miss where did she come from? That was
We
the part
didn't
that
know
actually caught
her.
me. Yeah.
No.
No, she didn't know her, but
Yeah, she didn't
but
spend a lot of time. So I thought they
I'm
could
And
have
then
okay
done
with
why
a
that
didn't
better
she
though.
go
job.
with them? No,
Yeah.
I'm not. Don't give me a character that is seemingly powerful, that has like is very, very interesting. And then you send the dragon and Caden. Where did Caden go? All his brothers were dead. Why didn't he go with them? He went on his own journey and then just showed. And then like old boy was like, "Yeah, I need you to come back and like slip through this like secret like teleportation and show up just in time for the battle."
That's what he told him though. He told him that though. He told
I
him he
found
was
that
like, hey, he told him that he was like, I can't go with you. There's things
and
here
I
I
found
need
that
to
to be
do.
so Caden. Like I see
Yeah.
Caden like, nah, I'm not going. I'm not
I
going.
got
I got
there's
some other
things here
shit
I
to take
have
I
care
to
of
can
do.
see that too. I'm
Because
just
he was like,
like,
I gotta bury my brothers. He was like, I gotta
Yeah,
bury
like
these guys.
I got some shit to do,
okay.
and when I
shit to
need
do,
to
man.
show up, I'll be there. Because that's what he
I'll
did in
be there.
season one. That's what he
Okay,
did
I
in season
forgot. I
one.
forgot
That's
that
what he
part
did.
because I was
Yeah.
just like, he vanished. Like he
Yeah,
kind of
he
is like Cable
No.
to me. Like he kind of looks
That's
like
what he
Cable,
does.
Yeah,
like
like
the
he did the
X-Men
same
Cable.
thing. Yeah, season one, and then he shows up at the end, like to help him out. So it's like that
Yeah.
is a completely Caden thing to do. Like I
Yeah, I
love
thought that
Caden.
fit the
I
character.
love Caden.
I like the dragon that came along. I thought that makes sense because the girl on the back
I
of the
loved
dragon
her.
is with her and Caden had something going on.
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
it
who?
read like
What you
the
mean?
girl
what did
that
you
rode
guys
the
think about?
dragon.
Oh
Before
yeah, I did. I
her
had
and
a feeling
Caden,
that they
her and
had like
Caden
they had
and stuff,
history.
and that's why she came.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like old girl that in the Witcher when she shows up to take care of the young girls, she shows up for the same reason.
Tess
Like she's like,
Marigold,
yeah, and so
Tris Marigold, Tris
yeah,
Marigold.
Chris. So it made sense that this woman that feels dragons in the universe rises her dragon in to come and save because she heard that she saw the dragons acting weird and she comes in.
So what you guys think about the attack on the castles with all killing off all the dragon slayers? I love that
Dragon
scene.
Knight.
Yeah,
I thought
I
that
actually enjoyed
was.
it.
I did too.
loved it. It was amazing, and I
did
didn't
too.
expect so early for that many of them to get killed. I was like, oh, they just upped the ante
Yeah.
right here because they introduce you to like his rival, who's the head Dragon Knight, and then they kill him a couple
Kill him.
minutes later. I was like, this is awesome. That's great.
That's very anime. I thought that was just traditional anime. Let's go. That's about
Yeah, I
right.
thought that part was pretty.
I thought they're going to
solid,
kill him
you know?
too.
Like I
Yeah.
stopped. Yeah, yeah. I figured he was gonna die. Like
Yeah.
I stopped
But in the
playing
second
with my
episode,
phone to pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I didn't see the second
There's
episode.
Gundams.
The
There's
creepy priest too. I thought that he was very interesting. The one who wanted to,
Drink
steal
their
more of
blood.
Davion's blood
Yeah,
in
he
order
wanted
to
the
become
dragon's
a
blood.
dragon himself. And Terrorblade just totally like usurped him.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
actually a plot I wish they would have developed a little more. Like, I don't know, because you have because he did turn into a full dragon, but to see if we could have utilized like actual
He
dragon
didn't.
bloods to make I don't know, make a
For
difference
like
in the
10
world.
seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
Well,
then he became an
Slyrak is
addict.
known as the dragon's blood. Like he's
Yeah.
he's the one that carries the bloodline of all the dragons. And so he's like, I'm gonna kill Terrorblade. Because you have to understand that Invoker had all the souls of the dragons. When the
Because
dragon of chaos
Terrorblade
blew
took
him up.
them.
Yeah.
Terrorblade took them all. He
He made a
killed them all
deal.
and
And
brought
the
them.
Invoker kept all 5. He kept the other 5. And he said, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna give you these. Because I
Wait.
know
Well, it
what
was a
this
deal, right? For
That was it.
Salamane.
He kept them all.
Yeah, he
No,
kept
he
them
didn't take
all.
them all.
He kept them
Wait,
all. That was the whole point.
Terrorblade brought them to him, and he kept them. He was supposed to do
Yes.
something with them, and he didn't
Yes.
do it. He
Yeah.
just
He
kept
was-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was that happened a little too quickly, I thought. And I still love the series because it was like 1 minute they're having a conversation, like little Miles did, and then all of a sudden he just turns on all of them and kills all of them and takes their soul. I thought we should have had some better build up.
I thought we should have had some stronger dragons. These people have been around for like millennia, and they just gonna like punk out and die like that. Like I didn't think that was.
Well, the dragon of chaos blew up, right? Killed all of them.
And he is chaotic.
And the
he is
dragon of
super
chaos
aggressive.
is the viceroy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No. He's different. It's a different dragon. The dragon of chaos was red.
Right.
He's
He's
like,
the one who takes them all. Because even if you go back to season 1, he's like, let's kill the little mouse when they're trying to listen to Davion and see what's going on with Slyrak and all. He's like, nah, fuck him, let's kill him. He's a human, he's less than us. Let's let's not spend that much time with that. So him making a move against his brothers did not surprise me. It's just we didn't have a lot of buildup. It's like one scene they took care of it all. I was just like, wow.
But that's a very Joker move, and Joker would do the same thing, and so they just made it. Why build it up when the Chaos Dragon wants to see chaos? So I strive off chaos, so I need chaos to happen.
I get it, but I would have thought, to Courtney's point, they're kind of all badass dragons. They kind of formed this council. He took them over very quickly, without much of a struggle. Like I expect, so I get that Chaos could beat them. I just thought Chaos probably doesn't have a plan, but it was something that he figured out to allow him to vanquish them so easily. And
also, Chaos died in that. They all died in.
They all did, and the Evoker didn't do anything with them. He just kept the souls, and just that plot line just kind of fell apart. He was too busy being mad at Salamane and like locking her in a room. Like,
well, she did kill her daughter. I mean, he should
have been done with her. Like, period. The end.
No, he wants her to suffer.
He wants her to suffer. Yeah, he wanted to punish her.
I mean, if my wife could have saved my daughter and she didn't because my daughter didn't worship her, I'm like, no, I just don't want to be done with you. I want you to suffer. I get it.
Okay, but if that's the case, then Fimrin never should have been able to get in there. Like, it should have been like padlocked and shit.
But Fimrin was going there to kill her.
No, she wasn't. She was never going to do that.
Yes, she was.
They both had knives because Fimrin had the knife. He sent her in there to kill her.
She did, but did anybody actually think Fimrin was going to do that?
That I don't know. But
no.
I don't know why he can't kill her. That's what I don't know. That is that explained? I don't know why he can't kill her.
Yeah,
because he just didn't want to. Because he still loved her.
But also too, like he told Terrorblade, whatever you say, whatever you see has already been seen too. So you think you know everything. I know that you know everything. So things are going to play out the way they need to play out.
Okay, can we?
Yeah,
that was so cool to me. I loved it.
What's up?
he had a coldness. Like, it's only a few times you saw him like get really emotional. He's just like, you humans, you're just so
Terribly
emotional.
reminded me of the dude from Wheel of Time, who was the dude that they were chasing the whole time, like
Crazy
the
one?
Lord. No, 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 not
The
Rand, not
wood in the
Rand.
wood, guy in the woods.
The
Okay,
guy in
okay.
the wood, the guy who
The other
was
side of the
like
forest, the dead forest that was in prison.
exactly. Yes, he
Mhm.
reminded me of that, and he's this like undercover kind of player that we don't really know what his agenda is other than to take power, but he's literally like puppeteering everybody, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he
So it
Palpatine.
was just yeah,
But
he's
they
probably
all are.
yeah.
Right. There's
The Vulcans
gods. You
doing the
got
same thing. They're
there are
No, he's
gods.
gods.
not.
There's dragons.
He's
There's
blinded.
elves.
He has
Yeah,
one-sided. The
He's
evoker is
one-sided,
one-sided.
but I mean, it's like they all have
like
their own agendas, and they're just kind of fucking with humanity.
yeah.
But he's
But
not though. He doesn't really care about the humanity. He cares about torturing Salamene. That's it. He is still mourning his daughter.
I
You
get
know what I'm
that.
see,
saying?
But he will
you're talking
use
about the
people to
Invoker.
make his for his
Yeah, the
own
invoker.
end.
I'm talking about the
Yeah,
invoker.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
use these people for like the world for his own end. Like, I don't know. I just feel
yeah,
like they were all kind of just kind of messing with,
yes,
these poor humans and elves and all.
yeah.
Are elves always out of place? Do they not have a home? Because that seems to be a common thread throughout literature.
No, I don't think they
I'm
do.
just
I mean, Lord
Yeah,
of the Rings, they had
they've
a
been
home.
drove from the homes from humans.
yeah.
Humans
And
drive
I
them
mean,
from their
that did
homes.
happen in The Witcher.
The
They
right,
humans
moved
that's what
them
I'm
drive them
saying.
from
from
The
their
their
Witcher's
homes.
the
home.
same way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
even kind of Harry Potter. Like they have
Lord of
homes
the
like near
Rings.
the
Yeah, Lord of the
bankers and
Rings.
You
stuff.
know,
That
Humans drive them
oh
from
no,
their homes.
those are goblins. They
goblins.
don't.
Okay, goblins.
Yeah, those are goblins. Those
Okay.
goblins, they're similar to dwarves
Yeah.
Okay.
in like the short stature.
But even Lord of
But
the Rings, like, aren't they kind of,
Dodie
no,
was an
that
elf.
Galadriel had her whole kingdom. She was
okay,
like,
okay.
I'm gonna need y'all
Maybe
to
I'm
like
mistaken.
step up on my house.
No,
You know,
they
Maybe I'm
have
same
their
with
mistaken
like
for The
places,
Witcher.
but a
The
lot
Witcher.
of
Arwen's dad.
so elves are considered indigenous people, and they've been driven out by humans when they come in a lot of literature,
And
So
we seem to see that. We seem to see that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair.
that's about right. They live on
That's fair.
nature.
They do. I just wish the elves looked a little bit more indigenous. I could have used a little more brown faces.
Well, the people that created elves are gonna make them look like them.
I mean,
because they
you know
hate
what I'm saying?
the
Like they
indigenous
do have
people.
the indigenous, like,
But that's how
uh
racism works, Courtney.
backstory.
We're gonna talk about the
So
indigenous people, make them look like us.
Hey, y'all know how
because
these
we're the
people are.
victims.
Yeah,
Because we're the victims.
they're really the
Yeah.
victims. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, they
Yeah.
showed a
Yeah.
black one in
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings trailer, and people lost their mind. Like, there are no
yeah,
black elves. Like, yeah, there are.
I
there
mean,
are.
why wouldn't there be
They're
black
described that
elves?
way.
Like
They're described that
Dora
way.
in The Witcher, he a little black elf.
You know how they are. Hell, they got mad at whatchamacallit, the Hunger Games, when the character's described as black. They're like,
Yes,
why is he black?
Rude. The
Yeah,
entire
Rude is
all
black.
of
why?
District
Believe.
8,
Because she's fucking described that way in the book is why she's
all
black.
of District 8 is black. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those people have never read the book. Those people
No,
have
those people are just
never
racist.
read.
They don't matter if they
care.
read it or
Racist.
not.
They don't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah,
They're
it
just
doesn't matter.
racist.
They're just racist.
They could have
Let's be
read it and
honest. It doesn't really matter. Like I read all kinds of fantasy novels, and I read that they say that they got fair skin and blue eyes and long blonde hair, and I still paint them black because
yeah,
I'm the one reading. It's my imagination. If I want them to be black, they black.
yeah,
It don't
that's how
matter.
they do too. I
Oh no,
mean,
it's a difference though. Courtney's not gonna go out there and be like,
I'm not gonna go out
all of
saying
them are
anything to
this. Or,
anybody.
I'm not going to watch it because they're not
no, I'm
this
talking
color.
about that's how they look
Exactly.
at it.
Like
They can see a black character. They can read Malcolm X and they'll have him painted white.
that's also true. That's
That
also
is
true.
true.
You
That is
know,
true.
because the problem is when you try to inflict your imagination on the world. I read it
Mhm,
this way. You read it that way by choice.
mhm.
By choice. Let's be clear. It was not written that way. J.K. Rowling did not
Yeah,
write Harry Potter as a little black boy. Okay.
Well,
But she's okay that Hermione is black on Broadway.
but no, the thing is, she never described Hermione's character, her color. She describes her features, like she has wild hair, she has these things. Her skin tone is never mentioned. in the Harry Potter books.
Oh, good point. I have
Yes.
not read it.
So
in a
when it
very
was
long
on the
time.
right, so when the one was on Broadway, when they did the play, the characteristics were the same. She was just black in this one. And
Yeah.
of course, they lost their
Ooh,
Yeah.
goddamn
good,
mind
They
about
good
that.
lost
But
their
yeah, she never
mind.
callback.
says her
I like
character.
that.
She says she has fuzzy hair and wears the
Yeah.
glasses, but she never mentions her skin color. We just
I've
assumed it
been
was because
meaning
Yeah.
of a girl.
to
And then they
reread
got
Harry
mad
Potter.
at J.K. Rowling because she said she could have been black.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling literally said it. She said, "I
She could
never
have been
said
black.
it in the
Yeah,
book.
it
She
makes
could have been
sense.
black.
She
Of
could
course,
have been
Hermione
black.
could
Why
have been
would
black."
she not been black?
And then they blackballed her. No, I'm just playing. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Well,
Yeah, we know.
she stuck her foot in her mouth.
So
Sometimes you just don't need to comment.
let's move
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Let's move
Well,
back.
let's go. Can we talk about Marcy? Because that one hurt.
Marcy, that was the pivotal moment for me. It made me teary eyed because we never knew what Marcy really was and who she really was.
We did get a cool
Badass. That's what we knew
backstory
she
for her.
We
was.
knew she was always a
Yeah, but
badass. We didn't know
But there's
how powerful
something
she
more
was.
to her. I feel like there
Yes.
was, and that backstory made
There
me think there
was.
was something more to
There
her.
was.
And I feel like she's not dead. Do we think she's dead?
I think she's dead. I think they
I
killed
don't
her off.
Like
know.
real
I think she's
dead?
dead. Yeah, I think she's real dead.
Maybe
I think they
Jon
killed her.
Snow dead. Like Jon Snow dead? Like we
No,
gonna
I
bring
think
her back?
I think she's dead. I think
I
if
don't
this
know.
is true
I
to
don't know.
animation,
You can't just
if
let
this
me
is
be
true, if this
hopeful.
is true to be anime, you kill her. It made sense. I applauded that. I cried and applauded. I was like, that makes sense.
It was
killed the
tough to see
girl. We
Marcy
had no
die.
idea who she was, who her mother was, who had
I'm
this
not
special power.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
not
gone.
okay.
She's gone. Little Marcy's gone.
And talk about a character that was so well developed who did not speak one single
So
word.
well,
One
and
word.
said not one word, and
Not
she
one
was
word.
my favorite character.
She was expressive. Her animation,
I mean,
animation was very
her and
expressive.
Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots was probably my favorite new character. I really
Puss in
enjoy Puss
Boots.
in Boots. I don't
Who's
know
that?
that little cat man who
Whatchamacallit?
talked like Antonio Banderas
Oh yeah.
from Puss in Boots.
Oh,
You know who
yeah.
I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't know what
And
that
I
man's
like
name
he
him
didn't
is.
talk like
but he's
Antonio
Puss in
Banderas. He
Boots.
was Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
He was. He wasn't.
Yeah, I liked
Listen,
him
whoever
too.
that
I
voice
liked him
actor
too.
was, they modeled
I liked him
themselves
too.
on Puss in Boots. Don't get it twisted. I know
I
that
liked
was
him
Puss
too.
in Boots.
I was like, who's Puss in Boots?
You know
I know
exactly who
exactly
Puss in
what you're
Boots is.
talking
I
Luna's
do. I
little
liked him
boyfriend.
too. I liked
Luna's
all
little
those
boyfriend.
characters. I liked them all when they introduced
I
all of
did
them.
too.
I
I
did.
like
Luna
all the
and
new
Luna grew
characters.
on me because I never
Mhm.
liked Luna in
Yeah,
season
I even like
one.
when they
She was
introduced the Scourge
unlikable.
when she pops up and she
Right.
captures
So
them. Like that made sense to me. Like, oh, that character makes total sense.
you said Marana was the only one that had a character arc. I thought Luna had one too. I thought from
She
who
did.
we
I take
when
that
we
back.
met
She
her in
did.
season 1 to who she became, because I actually thought, because I had to go back and watch season 1 because I thought Luna was dead, and when I see her and Marana pushing through the forest, I thought they killed her.
Yeah,
Then she
because
was alive.
Fimrin,
Right.
she put that work in.
Right. She
Fimrin
did, and so she was put
work
in, and I thought she
in.
had a full character arc, and she was amazing. Everything about her, going to the bars and the escape from jail, and then just showing a type of compassion for her people and for Marana. I thought she was awesome. One of the highlights, but I liked all the new characters.
I see. I counted her in the Marana storyline because her story arc was connected to Marana. So you're right, but I do agree. You're right. She had her own arc, and I agree that her and Marana had, and the dragon girl, the blue dragon, whose name I don't know if we ever really got her name. I don't know.
Yeah, we got her name.
I don't know.
I got her name. It's on the
Sure,
list.
yeah, her name is. Hold on, I got it here. That is her name. And then name Element, Victoria, and sister. I thought I had it here.
Riley.
Is it Riley?
I think it is.
Okay.
Riley,
sure.
Julie Nathanson.
I think that's who it is. I'll check, make sure, but I think that's her.
But yeah, she was cool. I'm just mad my man ain't get to hit that before she died.
Stupid. He's real stupid.
I'm just mad, man.
I'll be I'll be right back.
She put the ring on him because she put the ring on it. She put the ring on it, right? She put the ring on it. She did. She put a ring on it, right? She saw what
Wow.
she wanted. She put the ring on it. She showed him her
She said
secrets.
she was playing with him. I'm
You
just
know,
playing with you.
nah, she was, she playing game. She's spitting game. She's spitting game, and
Wow.
she got
Wow.
dying. My man didn't get the chance to hit that. I felt bad
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
That was, that's his first love, right? He's a squire, right?
Yeah. He was in love with it. I loved it.
Yeah, he
I
was
thought
in
that
love
was
with it. I
great.
thought she was feeling him too, because she saved him, right? She was like, leave, and
Making jokes with him and stuff. And he turned. Well, at first he was
yeah.
scared because she was a dragon. She turned to a human. He was like, "Hello."
Yeah, and even she taught him, like, he was a squire, right? He wasn't a
Hmm.
dragon knight, and she was like, now hit me. He threw the little book at her. She was like, Lord, whatever his name was, like, it's a dragon knight. So she was feeling on him. She put the ring on him and everything, and then they
You
didn't
so
get a chance
silly.
to
You so
to get
silly.
together, man. So I fell for him there. She was a dope character. She was a dope
She was a
character.
dope character.
Yeah, but that was one of the things that I thought was interesting about the show, or I thought was good about it. They did not spare any expense. Like, they didn't keep characters around just because we
No,
fell in love with them or we liked them.
no, and let him die.
Let
I
them
thought that was
die.
noble.
Let them
I
die.
thought that was a great idea. You let characters die as they die.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
actually thought they were going to kill Marana, because when she took the arrows, I was like, "Oh shit, did they
I thought
just
she was
kill
dead
her?"
too. I thought they
Yeah,
killed Miranda too when they shot her. I was like, oh,
yeah.
she's
When they
gonna be
shot, I think
gone.
it was episode 4. I was like, "Oh shit, did they actually kill her?"
And
And
like
then
they
the
had the
little
Scourge
gold piece
shooter
came
too. The
over.
Scourge shot her,
Uh,
and you're like, who hired the Scourge? And then the Scourge turn her in. This is weird. Why would she do
oh,
that?
you can talk about that one real quick before we go on to the scourge. Randy, it was a joke when she put that ring on, right?
No,
Yeah,
I
we
thought she
just
was.
talked
I
about
thought she
that.
was
We
playing,
just
but I
talked.
thought she really meant
Oh,
Yeah,
it.
we
okay.
just talked
You
about it. We
caught
You
just
talked about
talked
feelings.
that.
about it.
Yeah,
You
because
caught feelings.
she was like, I'm not familiar with human jokes, but I wasn't serious. I thought
Oh,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
serious. She was
that
You
was
serious.
know,
funny.
at first
But
he
the
wasn't serious
scourge
until we saw her
though,
human form, and he was like,
Right.
"Yeah,
like,
I'm about to put that
okay, box your
dragon
Right.
brow.
down."
It was funny when she was a dragon, but when she turned human, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm about that life."
Right. I'm
You know,
feeling
she
you,
went
boy.
Holly Berry real quick on
Right.
him. She went
Right.
She
Holly
sure
Berry real
did
quick
with
on
that
him.
little blue hair. He was like,
He was
Yeah.
like, "I'm
She
about
was.
okay.
that life."
It's okay,
But
girl. Let's make some
I did
dragon
like,
babies.
I liked all the characters in this
I did
series.
too.
I wanted to spend more time discussing all the characters, give them more scenes. Do I need more story? Not really. I just needed more character interaction. I was actually expecting more characters to be brought in because
Oh,
no,
you
this
expecting
is
more?
a
Oh,
yeah.
you
I
were
was
expecting
expecting a
more?
lot more.
That was quite enough.
I think more would
Hmm.
have
But
been too much because of the time frame that we had. We had 8
Yeah,
episodes, 22 minutes. To
yeah,
do
yeah,
more, it would have been like, yeah.
yeah. But
yeah.
the scourge, I thought was really interesting, given the fact that she brought her in. Like, why not just kill her with her crew? Like, why bring
No,
her all the way
that was the
back?
point. Cause the viceroy Cos wanted to kill her in the room. His whole thing was trying to provoke
The
her
Viceroy
to
didn't
become the
kill her
eye.
though. That was Lena. Lena had her killed.
I thought it was the viceroy.
No, it
Oh,
was the Slayer. It was the fire starter.
that's
She
right. She did.
hired
She
she
did hire
Yeah,
hired
her.
she,
her.
yeah, she
She did
hired
hire.
the
She hired
The
her.
staff.
viceroy, no,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
her
Hmm.
uncle who took
And
over the kingdom,
he
who
came in and killed
orchestrated the
he
coup,
came and killed the Slayer.
he wanted to marry her. He
Yeah,
Hmm.
wanted to marry Marana, like legit, like
Hmm.
his niece, like real Targaryen style. He
which
wanted to
makes
Hmm.
marry
sense
her.
though.
I
I mean,
mean,
Yeah,
if she
I knew he
got
didn't. I
stuck,
knew he
yeah,
didn't want to kill her. I knew he didn't want
yeah,
to kill her.
yeah. It's a
I knew
I
the other
thought
political,
it
crew
was
it's a
wanted to
political
kill
funny
her.
when Slyrack dropped him. I thought that was funny.
move. You knew he was gonna get killed though.
Oh
You
I
were
yeah,
like,
he
did.
knew he
yeah,
was killed.
I
but
did, and he
but
earned that death.
they
But
should
I
have
thought it
kept
was
him
funny.
because we wanted him to die because he was a piece of shit, right? He's a piece of shit. So they
That was
should
a
have
good
kept him
death.
around. They should have kept him around. It would have added more intrigue. We
That
got
was
what
a
we wanted
solid
with
death.
that one. Yeah,
Hmm.
right.
Although
We should have got.
everybody letting Davion off the hook. It's just like he was just a side character in a story in a whole first season. He was the main character. We were following him. But in this season, it was really ensemble and he was like tertiary.
I don't think he was tertiary. I think we just knew his story. He dominated the first season so much that he didn't dominate the second season.
So
It
you're
was
saying we
still
were following
kind
Marana?
of about he's still the pivotal character. The reason all this happened because he was chasing the eye. It'd
I
have
was
been
cool with
different
this
if
role.
He
I was cool
wasn't
with this
necessarily chasing the eye. It was just it became the next piece to his
role.
puzzle. Because the
yes,
first piece that he got from the blue dragon, he understood that these crystals had
yeah,
power that could, like that blue crystal gave the dragon her humanity and her intelligence. Like it deepened her connection to the earth and what have you. And that's how she started writing poetry. And
hmm
so then he was seeking the eye,
yeah,
but it was, I just thought he just wasn't really, he was just following everybody else, as opposed to like, did he
hmm
follow Lena, like Lena, the little fire
I
girl who
mean,
was like old girl's sister. Like, okay, I kind of
he's
like
Ronin.
her.
And he's broken too, right? I
He's
mean,
Ronin. Yeah,
he
he's
got
a
a
Ronin.
dragon.
He's a
Yeah, so
Ronin Dragon Knight.
now,
Like,
season 3, I think we get something. We get more development of
yeah,
Davion. So that's it. All right,
maybe.
guys, we done talked about this ad nauseum, so we are going to re-rate it. And the first time we started with you, Chuck. So Courtney, we're gonna start with you. How are you going to re-rate, or how not re-rate? How are you going to rate Dota season 2?
I'm gonna stay with the solid mini meal. I still got problems.
That's no problem at all. All right, so you're gonna go with a mini meal, and I'm gonna keep my full binge out. I enjoyed this season, and I'm looking forward to season 3 because as we talked about, we got a lot of plots that are still wide out there. We got Davion, we got Slyrack and Terrorblade, Salamene, and the Invoker. So I like that they didn't wrap it all up, and we got a lot of plot holes out there. So not plot holes, we got a lot of plots out there to
I think
pursue.
it'd be
So
interesting to see Marana as the powerful being and Davion as just a regular old dude.
yeah.
I hope I hope Slyrack comes back and they become the
Okay.
Hulk again.
The Hulk. Because you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Slyrax. All right. So Chuck, how you gonna rate Dota season 2?
After talking about it, I think I'm gonna move it to a full binge out. I think I'm gonna
Okay.
move it up. Um, I don't want them to answer all the plot holes. I want to cut story. I want the world to keep ticking. They don't have to close everybody's story. Let people die off and let them disappear.
I
You
don't want
know.
them to answer it. I just think
You know.
it's
I,
out
I
there.
think
I
I
don't
think
need an answer. I just need a clear through line.
I'm used to watching all kinds of anime, so I don't need that. I just need the story to be what I see is what I get, and this is how people. Because in reality, there's a sense of randomness to stuff, and there's a sense of randomness to this that I do like. I do like that sense of randomness. Do I need a traditional European style storyline? I don't. I don't.
I
I don't look for
listen.
it.
To be fair, I'm not looking for a traditional storyline like Castlevania, like that. I go back to that one. It did not have a traditional storyline. It did not have things like wrapped up all the time. It did not. I mean, it wrapped up in the final, the series final,
hmm
but it didn't wrap up in season 1 and season 2. Same with Jujutsu Kaisen. Like it didn't wrap up. Like there are things that were left unsaid.
hmm
But I feel like I understood why, especially in the latter second half of Jujutsu Kaisen, why we got all these new characters. I respected that we got these new characters and they had a place
hmm
within the story because it was well thought out and like it enhanced the story. I just think that like I hear what you're saying. Like I do
People just
feel
show up
like
on your journey, and people from your
I
past pop back
listen.
in.
I still feel like I could go up because I was debating between going up to a full meal because y'all did help me. Y'all did
Yeah.
help me
hmm
understand a whole lot.
Hey, you
But
didn't
I'm
go down
still.
because you were on the verge between. You were like, I
I
really don't
was.
know. You were like,
I
snack
really.
a mini meal.
But
I was like,
yeah, I
Courtney,
mean,
we need an
for
answer.
me,
So you're in
I
a
understand.
solid. You're in a solid mini meal. At least you did
I'm
go
gonna.
up.
That's true. I'm a solid mini meal because
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
feel like
But
Fimrin and Davion got short shafted.
I mean, I understand that, and then maybe they'll come
I did
back.
too.
Maybe Fimron will
Yeah.
disappear for good. She just runs off and disappears.
She's not gonna disappear.
But I'm okay with they let her go though. I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally okay with storylines not wrapping up, people coming in and out of your lives, because that's real reality, and that's a lot of Japanese storytelling where people come in and out all the time,
That's
and
true.
they're not always there. This is how real life works. We don't tell stories to make them pretty. We tell stories of life, and people come in and go out. And and Kira Kurosawa was king of that. People come in the stories, go out, new people pop up all the time. He has like 1,000 characters in his films because people come in because he's following one samurai, and everybody changes and people die on the journey.
I do think that final episode was a very
Hmm.
solid
Yeah.
episode. The loss of Marcy, the loss of the dragon,
Hmm.
even the loss of Lena in the episode before. I thought those were
Hmm.
all very solid. For me, it was like I got 2 solid episodes, and then the rest was just kind of like, so I'm in between a full meal and a mini meal. After this conversation, I'm in a buffet, which isn't real,
It's not a
but
thing.
like
But even
I'm
at
at a buffet.
Uh-huh.
even at your mini meal, it's a 4.3. So that's a solid full meal for Dota season 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All
So,
right.
for me.
Courtney, you got anything for us before we head out, man? Any last parting words? Okay.
Come back and see us next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Good luck and good night.
Absolutely. Chuck, what about you, man? You got any parting words for us before we head out?
I look forward to the third season of this. I wonder where they're going to take us and who they're going to introduce us to from the character roster for Dota. I'm pretty sure because there's a bunch of characters we have not met, and ethnic groups and races we have not met.
Yeah, we need a black girl.
Yeah, we need a black
We need
girl.
a black girl.
Yeah. And if they're going to
put that out there to Netflix and the team.
We need another episode. We need like either 9 or 10, or maybe full it out to 40-something minutes. Because, man, we can't get no more characters. We can't get no more. This world's too big already. For 22 minutes, and 8 episodes. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
We lost one. We lost Marcy, and she didn't even talk.
And she didn't talk, but she was a super dynamic character.
She was the
most, yeah. Like between her and Sagan the tiger.
Yeah, but
I was like, man,
if we get 3 or 4 more episodes, we ain't gonna have no time.
I'm done.
Yeah, we ain't gonna have more time for anything. We get 3 more episodes. All right. Okay. So as always, shouts out to Digital Click. They provide this beautiful surroundings that we have out there. They keep us looking fly so we can come here and perform at our best. You can also catch us out there. We are in audio form. So Apple Play, Apple Music, Google Play, any of those things out there, you can catch us wherever your favorite podcasts are downloaded. If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, man, because come on back. Be a subscriber. We got this hotness. The Geekish Network is full of great content, BingeWorthy podcast being included in that. Or you can also watch us on Facebook or Twitter. Don't forget to hit the like button on that as well. As I like to remind people, we are a network of underrepresented people. Black people, Latino people, Asian people. We are all about inclusion and accurate representation. We have actors and writers and directors and tech people, and we are working on bringing content to people that look like you. So please support us. I think next week we're doing Hit Monkey. As of right now, that's what's on the list. So, come back, watch us, Hit Monkey. So, as Courtney said, same back time.
Marvel's Hit Monkey.
Yeah, Marvel's Hit Monkey. So, same back time, same back channel. We bringing you that hotness. We love you guys. Talk to you all later. Peace.
Good night.